He hasn't even started yet, and already he's so disrespectful.
I love you, but
First
this is
takes in the house.
All right.
Let's go.
I mean, why waste my time? Every single freaking year, I get myself juiced up with this stupid team, and at 43 years of age and 3 kids, enough already.
I'm supposed to put Bonds and McGuire in the Hall of Fame who cheated. Is there an integrity issue when you're there?
Wait a minute, I'll get that with the integrity.
You know what, Jordan Bedell? My God almighty, you couldn't rip that uniform off of. If you're a referee or an umpire or an official, keep yourself out of the game. You want to talk about great defenses? How about the 62 Packers? Do you want to go there? You guys with their football here in 2020, you know anything about it? I'm not for ready but the water. When am I ever going to have a chance to win a lousy freaking champion? One time, not 20, one lousy time.
Christopher Mad Dog Russo, welcome to the team,
Molly,
sir.
I'm delighted. Looking forward to debating our little pal over there. Little Stevie
It's gonna
Stevie
be
A.
a lot of fun. I tweeted this gentleman. If the energy in the meeting was any indication, buckle up, folks, and I include myself in that. By the way, Jay Will also standing by to get at you as well.
I got you. Good morning, Molly.
Good morning.
I love the
I'm
outfit.
excellent.
I love
Thank
the
you
boots
very
are slim.
much.
You ain't got on the white
Oh,
boots
my
like
goodness.
you did a few
The
weeks ago.
fashion
But
police
it's
too.
very, very
This
nice.
man.
Hey, Doggy,
Look nice.
what's going on, Doggy boy?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, Doggy boy? How you doing?
How you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, man.
You look good. Thank you for having me, by the way, for your shows on Wednesdays. I appreciate
it. It is my honor and privilege.
Don't give me the honor nonsense.
I
You did a nice
apologize.
job.
It's not nonsense. Can I be respectful?
All
I
right.
mean what I'm saying.
I guess
I'm
at
not
10
faking
o'clock
it.
you can. I'll see you in about
Okay.
10 minutes.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
But I just wanted to say it's wonderful having you on this show. You'll be on pretty much every Wednesday. And I want to apologize in advance because, you know, I love you. But what's going to happen to you on Wednesdays, I just want to extend my condolences to you and Mad Dog Nation. It's a different day on Wednesday mornings. Y'all in trouble. That's all I want to say.
Oh, my God.
That's all I want to say.
Gentlemen,
No,
let's
right.
get
Let's
to
go.
it.
Let's
okay?
get to it. Fire away.
Let's begin. So right after we went off the air yesterday with the Ben Simmons press conference, the man he was traded for, James Harden, at the podium in Philly. The Sixers looking forward to Harden's debut. Did you see this, guys? After a 48-point beatdown from the Celtics. Take a listen.
It's a time where I needed to be, around the guys that I know that want to win and know that are willing to do whatever it takes to win. And the structure here is unbelievable. That's the goal, man. That's the goal. Like Daryl said, the opportunity, the window is now. Joe is playing the best he's ever played. So my job is to come out there and help him and help the entire team win the championship this year and years going forward.
Boy, he is tough to take. I mean, how many teams does he want to play for in the last couple of years? He bailed himself out of Houston because he didn't like the idea that they could no longer win after they did everything for him, including Westbrook, and gave him all that money. Then he goes to the Nets because he felt he could, help with Durant. Didn't like the way it finished up with Kyrie with the vaccination. Durant's hurt, so he says, you know what? Let me get myself out of here. His buddy GM is down in Philadelphia, so he figures he can work with Murray and they can have a nice little kumbaya. Here's the bottom line about Harden.
Okay.
Can you play in an NBA final?
Yeah.
He did once, he was bad. Can he make a big play and do some nice things in a conference final?
Yeah.
Do we all forget about Game 7 against Golden State when he couldn't throw the ball in the ocean? 2 for 13 from 3 when the Warriors won the Game 7 in Houston. Harden's a little tough to take. I gotta be fair, a little tough to take. And I'm very concerned about him in Philly because when things get a little tough, he's got a history now of bailing. He bailed on you. Jerry West bailed on the Lakers when they lost the Celtics year after year.
Oh,
did
God.
Did Bird bail? I mean, Durant bailed, but at least he helped Golden State win a championship, for crying out loud.
Okay.
I mean, it's a little rough.
So you
with
don't
James.
trust him on
I
the court
wouldn't
in the
trust Harden as
playoffs
far
or
as I can-
loyalty as a team? So
I do not trust. First of all, I don't like his game in a big spot, and I don't trust him when things get a little dangerous, how he is going to respond. So I am down on Harden.
Couple of things. First of all, rules of the game on First Take.
What?
Molly is the matriarch of the show. You have to let her ask the question first. You did not let her ask
I
the
did
question.
jump in. I apologize.
You jumped in.
Do
You
not,
jumped in.
do
You
not
jumped in.
apologize.
I
He's
did.
enthusiastic and he was ready to
You
go.
jumped in, okay? That's number one.
Christopher, I'm
Number
good.
two, I'm the guy you got to debate. You're looking at her. She's much better to look at than me, but you're looking at her as if that's the one.
so you're gonna tell me Harden's great
You got
now?
to look at me, okay? I'm the person that you got to debate with. That's number two.
The rules are out of the way now.
The rules, Mad Dog, the rules. Here's the deal. Did you know that James Harden is a career 28-point per game scorer in the playoffs?
I give you a million guys like that.
So we're talking about a guy. Now, mind you, he's shooting 42% from the field. He's shooting like 32% from three-point range. Those numbers are down from what he does in the regular season, no doubt. And you can point to a multitude of times against the Spurs, against the against the Golden State Warriors.
More than once.
Okay, there was a time. I remember when the Clippers lost a huge lead. They had an opportunity with Lob City with CP3, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan to get to the conference finals. They had a Game 6 at the Staples Center at the time before it became Crypto.com Arena or whatever the hell it is. Okay, and Houston came back from in that game with Harden on the bench, with Dwight Howard and these boys on the court. So I understand that there are times where James Harden has come up smaller than what we expect from him in the postseason. I'm not denying that. But when we think about what we're asking here, can you rely on Harden for a deep player from? I would say yes. And let me tell you why I would say yes. Number one, when has Harden ever had a dude like Embiid to ball with? It's never happened. We understand the greatness of CP3. By the way, miracle has happened. CP3 has gotten even better than he was when he was on Houston. He's better now on Phoenix. Years later, at 36 years of age, okay? Russell Westbrook, we know what a Herculean athlete he is, but in the same breath, of course, that was problematic, those two together, because they both need the ball. We understand that Dwight Howard was never the answer. I like Dwight Howard, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, shot blocking, whatever, but when he went to Houston, he thought that he was going to be an offensive player. No, you're not better than James Harden on the offensive side of the ball. This situation in Philadelphia is the best that Harden has ever had in terms of playing with Joel Embiid, who is my vote for league MVP if the season were to end today. I will remind you again, Harden's averaging 28 a game on 42% shooting. It's not like the dude is a scrub and he wets the bed and can't produce. And when you look at that, then we take into account the Eastern Conference. Okay, you've got Brooklyn, you've got Milwaukee, you've got Miami. Philadelphia is right there in the mix. Last night's massacre at the hands of the Boston Celtics, notwithstanding, and at some point we'll have to talk about the Boston Celtics because they have really stepped it up. All I'm saying to you is James Harden is still one of the most prolific offensive players this game has ever seen. Let's not act like we get to ignore that.
What, did we give him a pass last year because he had a bad hamstring in Game 7 against Milwaukee, 5 out of 7 from the field?
Absolutely do.
We give him a pass.
Last year, not the others.
We give him a
Last
pass.
year, yes.
So when you,
I don't hold anything.
How about the old line, when you're injured, don't play. When you play, don't injure. You played. I'm supposed to evaluate his injury?
Let me answer that question for you. Let me answer that question because, see, I'm one of the millions that listen to Mad Dog.
You do. You know me pretty well.
So I've heard the things that you said. I will remind you, he wasn't supposed to play. Kyrie went down. Kyrie messed up his ankle in Milwaukee, was not available for action.
I understand.
And they basically said, Harden, whatever.
So he gets a pass in Game 7.
Absolutely.
He gets a complete pass.
Absolutely. Complete pass in
How
Game 7.
about bailing out on Durant? Doesn't that bother you?
Bailing out on Durant?
Yeah, this year.
Bailing out.
Well, Durant's going to come back and play. Durant's the best player in the league.
Excuse me. First of all, we're not holding Durant accountable in that regard. We know that Durant is the best player in the world, is when he's healthy, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, no question about it. I agree with you on that.
He's the best player in the world.
He's better than LeBron right now.
Yeah, without question.
100%.
No disrespect to LeBron, but Durant is on another level.
That is a good question. Why don't you hold that against him?
Because when I'm looking at the Brooklyn Nets situation, it's been dysfunction from day one. Remember, Kyrie goes to Brooklyn. They're supposed to go to the New York Knicks. Kyrie convinces KD, let's go to Brooklyn. Number two, Kyrie is on the record saying, we don't really need a coach, okay? Which is why you could go and hire a Steve Nash, who's never had any coaching experience.
And they fired Atkins, who didn't deserve it.
That's right, who did not deserve it. And don't get me wrong, I like Steve Nash a lot, and I think Steve Nash has a promising future. But the fact of the matter is, he never coached on any level before he was hired as the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. So you take that into consideration, and then all the stuff that has transpired since the pandemic has taken fold. James Harden didn't come here for that. He didn't come here for that.
Well, what's the excuse about bailing out on Houston? What's the excuse there? They gave him everything he wanted and he bailed. And he acted like a jerk to do it. Doesn't that bother you?
Yes, it does. But here's the thing, Mad Dog. Daryl Morey abruptly walked out the door. Okay? Listen, I got a lot of love for Tillman Fertitta, the owner for the Houston Rockets. And definitely James Harden could get whatever he wants. We all understand that. But you had your window.